Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back, and this is your Raw review show. Um, there were a couple matches added to Summerslam, and there was some stuff modified, and we'll get into those once we get to that part of the segment. Um, for today on Raw, we had to start Raw, we had a special guest referee match actually, and it was Brad Maddox as your special guest referee going up against Wade Barrett, and it was Wade Barrett versus Daniel Bryan. Well, this match was pretty good, but at the end of the match, when Wade Barrett had Daniel Bryan in the first pin of the match, it was a fast count, and Daniel Bryan apparently lost due to this fast count. So that started like this whole thing of the night that these referees like either lost focus or wasn't paying attention or just did something. Started this whole thing with the referees that they wasn't doing their job. So we also had Damian Sandow versus Randy Orton, Mr. Money in the Bank versus Mr. Money in the Bank. Well, that happened once already, and that was on SmackDown, and that was back when Cody Rhodes took Damian Sandow's Money in the Bank briefcase and threw it in the Gulf of Mexico when they were in Corpus Christi, Texas. Randy Orton won this one, and Rhodes was actually on commentary. But before the match officially started, Sandow brought out his Sandowized Money in the Bank ladder match briefcase, and he basically handcuffed it to the top turnbuckle. Near the end of the match, Rhodes was trying to basically take the briefcase. He was just sitting here pulling at it, ripping at it, just trying to rip this thing off either off its handles or something, but he couldn't get it. So Sandow sees him. He's like, "Stop it, stop it!" And as he turns around, he gets an RKO, and that's how Randy Orton got the win. You then had Dean Ambrose and the tag team champions sending a message to one or anyone who wants to face them for the tag team titles or the United States title or the United States Championship. They talk about how CM Punk says that all he is a catchphrase, and that all Cena's carrying around is a trophy. Well, what Dean Ambrose is carrying around is the real WWE Championship, because people who actually hold the WWE Championship do become world champions somewhere down the line, and that's true. Everyone that I've seen so far has done it, except for Kofi Kingston so far, and Dean Ambrose, not Dean Ambrose either. Antonio Cesaro and Santino, which I don't think Santino will ever be a world champion, to be honest with you. And he says that no one wants the United States title because everyone runs from it because of who's holding it. You might as well say that all three Shield members are holding the United States title, because it seems like every time that Dean Ambrose is in the ring, either defending or going for the United States title, the Shield gets involved. So, I mean, they're a cohesive unit. That's how you have to be. Punk is then interviewed and asked about why he decided to take this match so close to SummerSlam. He says quite frankly, Heyman's a smart man, and I know he's got something up his sleeve. I mean, he's probably got Brock Lesnar here somewhere, but I've got something for him too. So we then had a mixed tag team match to get ready for the mixed tag team match at SummerSlam. Well, this one is Khali and Natalya versus Big E Langston and AJ. And AJ actually tapped out twice in this match. She tapped out once, and the referee wasn't looking. The whole referee's not doing their job. Well, Natalia lets go, walks up to the referee, and she was trying to have the referee hold up her hand, even though the bell didn't ring. The referee's like, "What the hell are you doing?" So she goes back over to AJ, puts her in the sharpshooter again, and AJ taps out. Referee sees it, calls for the bell, match is over. Well, at the end of the match, or after the match was over, Hornswoggle, being the dumbass he is, comes in the ring. Biggie links and grabs him, and he's about to, I guess, do his big ending, and Khali basically stops him and does his whole little Pujani head bang, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. That's what I'm calling it, the Pujani head bang. But, that's what happened. Vince McMahon then comes out and says that there was controversy for the why am I so attached to Steven Sandow? For the Daniel Bryan Wade Barrett match, the fact that there was a fast count. Well, he ends up calling out Brad Maddox, and Brad Maddox says that all of Daniel Bryan's matches basically turn into chaos. That you can't really stop Daniel Bryan. If you're trying to have him stop doing something, he won't stop. So they need an authority figure in there. And he says that he wanted a second chance. He wanted to be the special guest referee for the WWE title match at Summerslam. And as Vince McMahon was about to give it to him, our guy Triple H comes out and he says, "You know, he's right. You do need an authority figure, and you're right, Vince. You need someone who's impartial, someone who can call it down the middle, and all this other stuff." And he says, "But you don't need Brad Maddox. You need me." And then he pedigrees Brad Maddox. Do you think that would be like his sayonara of him being general manager? But you then had Kane versus Tyson. Now, basically what tonight seemed like for me was a whole everyone building their momentum for SummerSlam. Since SummerSlam is indeed the Sunday. And we'll talk more about that after the show. We then had Kane versus Titus O'Neil. It was a squash match. After the match, the Wyatt family does their whole "we're here." They enter, and when the lights come back on, Kane isn't in the ring. He's on the ramp. He outsmarted the Wyatt family. We then had the Bella Twins. They were then interviewed about their Total Diva stuff. So they're basically all the stars. And Natalia offers a one-on-one match at SummerSlam against Brie. But Natalia said she's not coming alone. She's bringing the Funkadactyls. Well, Brie said, "I'm not coming alone either." She's bringing Nikki and Eva Marie. So that was that segment. Some of these segments were really not that good today. We then had Alberto Del Rio versus Kofi Kingston, the returning Kofi Kingston as of last week. If you remember, Kofi Kingston was put through 3 tables before Payback. And he basically, I guess I hurt him, so. Del Rio, at one point in this match, Kofi Kingston goes for like a springboard, and Del Rio does what they call in WWE 13, and WWE 13 Xbox. They call it a catching finisher. And he did a catching finisher code breaker to Kofi Kingston, and then he goes in for the armbar, even though his arm wasn't really worked on. Is this still part of his injury, or what is it? He wasn't really injured. It was a whole thing that his wife had a kid, and he was basically there to be with her for the whole thing. until his wife was able to get it back on her feet, or something like that. I'm not really sure, but that's really what it was. Let's see, what else was there? We then had a Christian interview. They also played like this little Christian video package about like his career. It almost seemed like a retirement kind of package, but that's just me. Christian was interviewed, and he says that he will be the world heavyweight champion, and he'll be the world heavyweight champion for the third time. And all he needed was one more match, and he got it. Well, Del Rio comes in and says, after I beat you at Summerslam, you're not going to get any more matches. So, we then had a tag team match, which was the Real Americans versus the Usos. Quite frankly, the Usos won this. It's thunder. I'm sure you guys see that little glowing light. It's thunder outside. And lightning. Welcome to Georgia. We then had our Miz TV segment. This segment was actually quite long and pretty good. Basically, all this segment boiled down to was Cena and Bryan giving each other reasons on why they're going to win, why they decide not to respect each other, and that one is an entertainer, not a wrestler, one is just a parody, not a wrestler, one doesn't even watch TV, which is something they talked about in Total Divas, that for 12 years John Cena, what he did was wrestle, and that he's been a 12-time WWE champion or something like that. And basically all this boiled down to is that they don't have respect for each other anymore. They really do. It's just how they wanted to play out the segment was that they don't have respect for each other. At the end of this, Triple H came out because he's the special guest referee, and to kind of separate them. And then you had Randy Orton come out, stand on the ramp, and hold up the briefcase like he was going to cash it in at SummerSlam. Would it be a good idea to do it at SummerSlam? To me, yes. And then you could have a Daniel Bryan, John Cena, Randy Orton rivalry leading through, I don't know, WrestleMania. You then had Fandango and R-Truth. They were supposed to be in a match, but it turned out to be like a dance-off, and then it turned out to be just a brawl. So there was actually no match. They were getting ready for the 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal to determine the number one contender for the United States Championship at SummerSlam to kick off the SummerSlam pre-show. Thank you, I can do this all day. We then had Heyman taping up his hands, and Axel asks him, "Are you okay?" And Heyman says he was actually having second thoughts. You're going up against CM Punk, I would have second thoughts too. And then we had it. And then we had our 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal to determine the number one contender for the United States Championship at SummerSlam to kick off SummerSlam. Well, luckily for you guys, I got who was eliminated first to last in the order and who won this match. Okay, now here's some of the big names who were in this match. You had RVD in this match. You had Mark Henry in this match. You had Ryback in this match. That's it. Those are the only three big names in this match. Two of those big names have actually been a world champion. One of them hasn't yet. One of them hasn't even been a champion yet. I mean, probably an OVW or a Florida Championship Wrestling champion or something like that. But other than that, no. Their character in WWE is not. Okay, sorry, Khali's been a world champion. But who cares? Khali was not a big name anymore. He was a big name back in 2005 when he was doing the Pujami prison match against Batista. That's back when Khali was actually good. But in this order, here's everyone who's eliminated in order. We had Gabriel, Young, Tensai, Jimmy Uso, Fandango, R-Truth. Okay, now right there, those two, they brawled before this thing, and Fandango Fandango was eliminated by R-Truth. Well, Fandango slides back in, eliminates R-Truth, and then someone takes Fandango and throws him right back out. Brodus Clay, Drew McIntyre, Mahal, and Slater, but Slater was an idiot and decided to run around the apron the whole time, well, for most of the match. And I will say this, Kofi Kingston did something amazing. When Kofi Kingston is in over-the-top rope elimination matches like a Royal Rumble or over-the-top rope battle royal, he always pulls off something amazing. And that's why I like this guy. We like guys who do stuff that we can't do, like Kofi Kingston. I couldn't do half the stuff he does, okay? And that's why I like him. That's the only reason I like him. To me, that's their mid-card guy is Kofi Kingston. They give him the title if they don't know who else to give it to. But and if they want to make the guy lose it fast, that's what they give it to, or have a brand new winner within the next pay-per-view. Because one, Kofi Kingston's not good on the mic at all. That's why. But Kofi Kingston was thrown over the ropes. Well, he tried to do a sunset flip at one point over the rope to, I believe, Cesaro. Well, he didn't get eliminated. His feet were like inches from the ground, like inches. He pulls himself back up and fights off the Real Americans, and then he gets eliminated by the Real Americans. After Kofi Kingston, the Real Americans were eliminated, and then we had your final four: Wade Barrett, Ryback, Henry, and RVD. Well, Wade Barrett was then eliminated, so then we had three. And before I get into who won, here's a little thing that you guys should know about RVD. RVD just signed a new contract, and this contract states that he wrestles for 90 days, and then he can take like a couple days off to rest up, and then come back. Now, which leads me to the winner of this match. It was Ryback, Mark Henry, and RVD last as your final three. Ryback was then eliminated. Henry was then eliminated. So RVD won this thing. And with his new contract, I don't think that RVD is going to win this match at SummerSlam. I'm sorry, guys, if that disappoints you, but with the new contract and his age, him being a champion at all with his new contract seems like a bad idea, because WWE has that whole you must defend your title within 30 days or something like that of you winning it, and if he wins it, then he's got 30 days to defend it, but he's going to be there for 90 days. That's 3 months. That's 3 pay-per-views. That's not that long. I've been working where I worked for 90 days. And there's not much you can do with a title or with a storyline in 30 days or 90 days, and then have a 30-day hiatus. Since that's the case, I'm pretty sure, I'm this much sure that RVD's not winning this thing. If RVD wins this thing, to me it's just gonna be a miracle that RVD deserves to have it, because to me he does, but with his new contract, I don't think he will. After the match, Mark Henry he shows his respect for RVD. He actually fist bumps him, and then you get the Shield to come out. Well, the Shield come out, they surround the ring. RVD and Mark Henry are back to back, and I'm still waiting for this fourth guy of the Shield. I was expecting Mark Henry to spin around and do a World's Strongest Slam to RVD, and then him be like, I want to go for the World Heavyweight Championship now, or something. Well, that didn't happen. But what happened was actually really good too. I told you guys that guy was supposed to be returning, and guess what? He returned tonight. Who was it? It was the Big Show. The Big Show made his presence felt. This dude, the Big Show is so big. As soon as he got in the ring, he was staring down the show. His pants are freaking huge, man. You could probably fit like 6 of me in those things. I'm 6 foot, probably 150 pounds. Big Show is 7'2", almost 500 pounds. Okay, he's like what, 4 or 5 of me. Big Show's a big dude, and I'm using a laptop. Apparently they're saying that this is the size of his hand. Good God. But after Big Show gets in the ring, the Shield basically just decide to leave. And your main event was Paul Heyman versus CM Punk. Well, Heyman comes out first, and he says that the whole thing was indeed a trap. He brings out Brock Lesnar, and he says that the match, well, it's not going to be a one-on-one match. It's going to be a two-on-one match. But CM Punk has to be the stupid hero and do this, or he can be the smart villain, walk out through the back door with his tail tucked between his legs, and live to fight another day. And that other day is SummerSlam. Speaking of SummerSlam, we are doing a SummerSlam prediction night. I believe it's Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday we are doing a SummerSlam prediction night. That is the 14th. Tune into that. The cards will be revealed. My winners will be revealed. Why I think the person is winning, who's winning, and everything. Some of these matches are actually pretty hard to predict for me, because some of them I have no idea. But when Punk's music hits, they're all waiting for him at the ring. If Punk's not coming, well, we finally see this camera zoom out and kind of turn. Punk slides in the ring from behind, grabs the cameraman's camera, and hits Brock Lesnar in the head with it. He then basically just wails on Brock Lesnar, throws him out of the ring, goes after Paul Heyman with a chair, no less. And Heyman runs. He's about to grab him. And then as they're running up the ramp, out comes Curtis Axel. Curtis Axel gets a chair to his stomach, and then gets taken up to the stage, thrown into the stage, and then gets a GTS. And then Punk basically stares down Brock Lesnar as he's leaning up against the apron, sweating, gasping for air, and that was your Raw. But like I said, it is SummerSlam prediction night on Wednesday, because I am off that day. Next Monday, I'm trying to get off, but they have me working 10 to 3, and I really don't want to work it. So I gotta either find someone at work to do it for me, or talk to my manager or something, because I love doing this for you guys, and I don't want to miss this for you guys. So we gotta find a way for me to get off. But I'm also going to do something. Starting tonight, I'm also going to do something new. I'm going to do a pay-per-view of the week. Okay. And for the pay-per-views of the week, I kind of want you guys to go back and watch it. The reason I picked this pay-per-view of the week was, one, the main event. It was a long main event. It was JBL versus John Cena in an I Quit match for the WWE Championship. And the main reason I picked this match, this pay-per-view, and this match, was because of the shirt that John Cena was wearing. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. When you guys watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Look at this shirt then, look at the shirt now, and tell me the similarities of the shirt. Put it in the comments below, and whoever gets it right, I'll shout you out. on your show. I mean, you're not going to get a lot of subscribers for it, but I will give you a shout out, and that's who the winner is. Okay. Um, if you guys like this, we'll do this weekly. We'll do this like a pay-per-view of the week and stuff. But that was Raw. It was an okay Raw. It wasn't that good, but it was okay. Summerslam prediction night is Wednesday night. We got loads to talk about for SummerSlam. I don't know why they didn't do the whole Bella Twins thing, but I kind of wish they did. That would have been good to me. Tune into SummerSlam prediction night. I will see you guys Wednesday. I am the real YouTube champion, and I am checking out.